I'm Ravenna Bloomberg. I'm from Secor, Illinois. I'm going to be judging the open cattle shows at the Arizona National this year in 2021. So when it comes to judging cattle, I think that, we're in an aspect in the industry where good, functional built cattle, they're always going to be in vogue. Regardless of trends that are out there in terms of a certain look or a certain design or something that way, you forego all that, and good quality cattle are still going to be built good in terms of their structure. They're going to be ones that are functional in terms of their body type, and they're going to have some width and dimensions. I know for me personally, I like to see cattle, obviously, that are flexible off both ends of their skeleton. I want to see cattle that are built right in terms of having some width and power. They're ones that represent, the beef breeds that we evaluate in this industry. They got to have some power to them, but at the same time, especially with breeding females, they need to have some of those extra pieces in terms of functionality. I would just encourage young people, showmanship is a day-to-day game. It's not one in the ring, it's one at home. It's how much effort you put into it. Because someday, if you put in the effort and you put in the time and you continue to improve your skills, then you will be able to understand what you have to do to get to that next level. I would tell exhibitors, in terms of advice, especially coming out of a season in history that we've had here recently, is don't forego the opportunities that are available to you. Whether or not you think you can win, that's not always what's important. It's what you're able to get out of it. And so go ahead, take those risks, enter those shows, do your best, see what happens. You never know. A judge may have a slightly different opinion than you do on the quality of your animal, and so give it a shot. If you've worked hard for it, go for it.
Bristol Lesky of Durango, Colorado. Madeline Stevenson of Hesperus, Colorado. Jordan Lott of Bayfield, Colorado. Dylan Carlisle of Gallup, New Mexico. Faith Campa, Golden Valley, Arizona.
I'd let you know.
Cadence Ewing, this is going to be your last and final call. Cadence Ewing, last and final call. Please be ringside. Grayfield, Colorado. Entry number 4730, Dylan Carlisle of Gallup, New Mexico. Show. We have Class 1 Junior Heifer Calves on or after March 1st of 2021. We're looking for entry numbers 4779, Rolling Hills Cattle Company of Avon, Minnesota. Entry number 4760, Rolling Hills Cattle Company of Avon, Minnesota. Entry number 4757, Emily Peters, Veteran, Missouri. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome our judge today in the British White Show, Miss Ravenna Bloomberg. Please give her a big round of applause.
Well, good morning and welcome to the Arizona National. I'm sure excited to be here and evaluate through some of your open cattle shows the next few days. We're starting off here, the ring's a little sloppy, and so I'm going to go ahead and give you my placings here over the mic rather than work the cattle a little extra into that mud. I think we start out the class here with three nice females that definitely have some potential to them. I think as we progress these on down the road, there's definitely some positives that we can pick out of each one of these. For me, there's one that's maybe just a little bit nicer in the way that she's put together in terms of her lines. She's maybe just a little bit more collected at the stand. There's a pair of them I think that definitely have a little bit more growth to them. To me, the heifer that I like to start with is the one that also has some power to her, and that's the young lady on this end. I think when you get in behind them, that's where she excels the class. There's just a notch more genuine width to this heifer, especially out through her hip. If you're going to change her just a little bit, I'd like to see her a little stronger there behind her shoulder. I'd like to see her maybe just a little bit longer from her through her front end, but still a really complete kind of a heifer that's got some body depth and some width to her as well. We're going to follow it up with the young lady right in front of her here with a really nice pattern kind of heifer. One that to me I'd like to change just a little bit structurally. She's a little straighter, more upright in her shoulder, kind of prevents her from getting out and really taking a long and fluid stride, but still a nice mate kind of a heifer that gives you a nice look for the profile. Young lady's chromed up heifer here on the end that's going to round out the class is one that I think when you really take into account her age, she's given up a lot of weight today and that kind of works to her disadvantage. But there's some pieces to this heifer that you can really appreciate. She's the good looking one in terms of her front end. She's super feminine from that standpoint. She's the well balanced one in terms of her top line and the way that she blends there into her heart. She's just a little bit narrower, more refined in terms of her bone work. Doesn't quite match up with the same amount of stoutness that we have in the other two heifers today. But a nice class, if you would, let's congratulate these exhibitors.
On the British White Show, congratulations, entry number 4779, Rolling Hills Cattle Company of Avion, Minnesota. In second place, your entry number 4760, Rolling Hills Cattle Company of Avion, Minnesota. And rounding up the class, And your class winner is going to be entry number 4757, Emily Peters of Benton, Missouri. This is going to be a second call for Class 2 Junior Prospect Cabs. You need to be ringside. Junior Prospect Cabs, Class 2, you need to be ringside. Class 3 Junior Prospect Cabs, you need to be making your way to the ring. 7 in the British White Show is the early summer yearling heifers calved May through June of 2020. We're looking for 2 entries. Entry number 4761 of Rolling Hills Cattle Company of Avion, Minnesota. Entry number 4763, Rolling Hills Cattle Company of Avion, Minnesota. Daisy Howell, Class 2 Junior Prospect Cattle, you need to be ringside. Daisy Howell, Class 2 Prospect Cattle, you need to be ringside. Early summer yearling heifers calved May through June of 2020. Please, you need to be ringside. Class 7 early summer yearling heifers calved May through June in the open British White Show. You need to be ringside. The first and second place division winners from the first class in the British White Show, you also need to be ringside. At the conclusion of the class, we'll be moving into the supreme selection of the open British White Show.
Okay, so that one is the order, right? So that's the 47.
Entering the ring now in the British White Show, we have entry number 4761, Rolling Hills Cattle Company of Avion, Minnesota. And entry number 4763, Rolling Hills Cattle Company of Avion, Minnesota.
Well, another really nice class here, and again, this will be our respected division winner and reserve out here. A pair of heifers, I think, have some good to them in terms of their basic functionality. To me, the one that's more robust in terms of a rib shape, definitely has more width and dimension to her, is the predominantly black heifer out here. I think she's one that's more opened up at her base. She maintains that advantage up high, and I really like the added depth of body that she has as we view her there through her center. The heifer that's going to stand second, be our reserve division champion out here, is another one that has some length and extension to her. She's one that gets out and travels with some flexibility off both ends of her skeleton. She just narrows up when you start comparing her back to the class winner out here. She flattens just a little bit more out of her hip and is a little bit plainer in terms of her look at the stand, but still a nice pair of females. If you would, let's congratulate these exhibitors.
Congratulations to your division champion, entry number 4763, Rolling Hills Cattle Company of Avion, Minnesota. Your reserve champion in the division belongs to entry number 4751, Rolling Hills Cattle Company of Avion, Minnesota. We will now be bringing in our Grand and Reserve division winners in the British White Cattle Show for our Supreme Selection. Coming back from Class 1, our division champion is entry number 4757, Emily Peters of Bettman, Missouri. Coming out of Class 7, your division champion belongs to entry number 4763, Rolling Hills Cattle Company of Avon, Minnesota. In our reserve division winners, it's going to be entry number 4760, Rolling Hills Cattle Company of Avion, Minnesota. And entry number 4761, Rolling Hills Cattle Company of Avion, Minnesota.
Finish up our British White here over on the open side of the ring. I think we have some nice females that have come through here today, and we've kind of talked about them individually in terms of what they offer. You know, this is a unique breed, and my compliments to this family that's brought down several nice females, and they've made quite a hike to get here to show at the Arizona National. But that's part of what makes this show fun, is the people that come from a long ways away and take in the sights and the excitement of what's made this historic event last all through the years. And as we go through and we evaluate these, I guess where they've announced these have kind of come from the same location, the same family. I guess I won't make anybody too mad here as we start off the day, because I do think that there's some differences. I think that depending on your production goals, as you take these females back and you breed them up and you use them within your own operation, you can definitely see there's quality, and different ones may prove to be your best female on down the road. Today, I think there's one that's kind of an outlier amongst these in terms of really combining the most good, having some look, having some dimension. I really like the body type of this female. Young lady out of our second class is going to be your champion. If you would, congratulate her. Then from there, I think it gets a little bit closer. I think you can kind of pick and choose in terms of where you want to lay your priorities. To me, the one that's probably the next most complete in terms of combining a lot of the things that I like to see in a good functional made female, followed her up in class. We'll use her for reserve. If you would, congratulations to all of these exhibitors on a nice show.
Congratulations, entry number 4763, Rolling Hills Cattle Company of Avion, Minnesota, with your 2021 British White champion female. Our reserve belongs to entry number 4761, Rolling Hills Cattle Company of Avion, Minnesota. Now that we are concluded with the British White Open British White Show. Please, all division, all Grand and Reserve winners, please make your way to the backdrop for the official Arizona National Livestock photo with our judge. That concludes our British White Cattle Show for today. We will begin at 10:30 a.m. on the north end of the open cattle ring with the Alex V's Brangus Show. 10:30 will be the start time for the Alex V's Brangus Cattle Show. All open exhibitors, please, we need to go over to the backdrop, which is in the west end of the open cattle barn, is where our photos will be. Different